Your host. I'm guesting today. We've got a much better host in line for you. His name's Sean Douglas, and he's joining us from the Success Corps today. No, actually, I am the host. Sean's my guest, and I am just so freaking excited about him being here. Let's just get to it. All right. Hi, Sean. How you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. How are you?
I am wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. Um,
Absolutely.
You are one of those names that you don't necessarily see on comments so much as you see other people commenting about what an amazing person you are, what amazing
Oh,
thing you did next, and so on. So, what's the difference between the man, the myth, and the legend?
nothing. I, I just try to be a person of value and try to support as many people as I can. I believe that a rising tide lifts all ships, as Jim Rohn said, and I just feel like if I can help somebody, then kind of feel obligated to do that. I don't look at people as competition. I don't look at other businesses and what I'm doing as competition. I look at it as an opportunity to either collaborate or learn something.
Well, I am absolutely grateful to be on the receiving end of that willingness to collaborate and be helpful. I know that we're going to have a little bit maybe background noise over there with you because we got some homeschooling going on. How's that going for you during this quarantine?
Kids, the kids are getting really rambunctious at this point, and I usually try to kick them outside in the backyard and wear them out on the trampoline. But you know, we homeschooled before all of this,
Hmm.
and now that all of this is happening, they can't really go see their friends,
Hmm.
so it makes them like rambunctious and all that. But I don't know, if we didn't homeschool before this, then I feel like life would be a lot worse than it already is. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because we wouldn't know how to handle certain situations. But yeah, we're managing. It's good.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Awesome. Well, I'm glad that you are getting along doing that. And I've talked with other people as well. It seems like if you have a business or if you're, let me put it this way, if your 9 to 5 job has you suddenly working from home and your kids are used to being in school all day and then daycare afterwards, and now everybody's there 100% of the time. From your experience as a homeschooling parent from before, what advice can you give to parents that are trying to deal with working from home, homeschooling all of a sudden, and dealing with children that don't get the playtime that they really need to burn off that excess energy these days?
Right. So my advice would be to have a lot of patience because it's bad for them just it is it's bad for you.
Hmm.
If you have two parents, then you guys need to tag team it. You got to support each other. You got to take care of each other. No one's work is more important than the other person's work. And you can't look at it as competition. You got to collaborate. Yes, both of you, if you have two parents, right, both of you need to get something done. Yes, it's important that you do get it done. But the fact that you can tag team it or work with each other or schedule some things or, it's just, you have to come together and figure out what's going to work.
Hmm. Very good.
So don't compete against each other. You have to complete each other. You have to team up and do it as a whole, not as individual pieces, because then that's how everything's going to fail and fall apart.
I like that. I like that a lot. Don't compete, complete each other.
Yes.
That's
Yeah. which
wonderful
is
stuff.
which is a lot of the problems that we had in our marriage in the first like 5 years. I joke that, yeah, we've been married for X amount of years, on and off, because we'd like separate for a while, and then we come back together
Sometimes
because we're
some
competing against each other. My stuff is more important, though your stuff's more important in it, and it's just you have to make sure that you're completing each other instead of competing against each other. You'd be on the same page and understand what that page is and what it looks like and how it can vary. So
Good advice. Yeah, that is so true. Sometimes it's difficult when the things that you have in common are the things that push each other away in the end, and working on that partnership is so important, especially right now. I was talking with somebody the other day, and I'm like, we're spending an awful lot of time with people that we love, but we don't necessarily always like, you know. So
Yeah. I mean, it could be worse. You could be quarantined with like an ex or something.
that could be bad. That could be very bad. Well, you've got
Right.
let's jump streams now and talk a little bit about the things that you've had going for a few years. I see you around the Success Core. I see you around LYB clothing, and of course Life Transformation Radio. Are
Yeah.
there any pies that you don't have a finger in?
Not usually. I'm pretty much spread out between a lot of different stuff. So between virtual summits and podcasts and launching other people's podcasts and books and consulting and coaching and hosting, and yeah, it gets busy.
I'll bet. I'll bet. So first of all, tell me a little bit about the Success Core. What is that
Yeah.
about? What can people do to be involved with that?
Yeah, so the Success Core Academy is an entrepreneurship speaker and business owners academy. And what that is we teach people how to improve their positioning in the marketplace, which increases their profitability and decreases their anxiety and stress so that their business thrives. We create speakers, we create entrepreneurs, we create business owners. We create, launch, and monetize podcasts, books, your speaker career, or virtual summits, or we launch your business. And a lot of people are beginning to understand that the online space, whether you like it or not, that's where people have been, that's where people are now, and that's where people are going to continue to go.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of brick and mortar places that we work with to create some marketing campaigns. They've never done Facebook ads. They've never done, they're like mom and pop shops and different small businesses that, we need to be targeting local ads.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we do.
Awesome. So have you been seeing a lot of influx of new blood coming into the online space, specifically, through there with what's going on?
A very interesting transition is taking place. I call them Facebookpreneurs. You got Facebookpreneurs that are flaunting all their cash, renting cars and taking pictures in front of them, and like all this stupidity that goes on. Mm-hmm. So the ones that have been really loud, like buy my stuff and look at me and look at me and look at me, and this is me mentality. Those are people have gotten quiet, but now there's a whole another group that have just randomly popped up and go, I just made $1 million. Like, no, you didn't. You know full well you didn't. And everybody around you knows that you didn't. So there's there's a weird dynamic going on. The people who are head down, getting this stuff ready to go, working hard, nothing's changed. But you got one group that was loud before. Now you got another group that just came in. And I suspect that it's going to be, again, harder than it usually needs to be, especially at this time, right? Mm-hmm. It's harder than it looks. And those people are going to get real quiet too.
Gotcha. So what do you think is going to be the next authentic?
Authenticity is huge. Yeah. I literally know people who work at FedEx, but then flaunt on Facebook how great of an entrepreneur they are. And then I send them a Facebook message. I'm like, yo, dude, you know full well that that's a complete lie. Like I'll call them out on Facebook message, because to me, integrity and authenticity is number one. Because a funny thing happens on social media, you get smoked out, you get called out, and people are like, that's so unprofessional. It's so unprofessional to like call people out. Really? Really, it is, huh? It is? Cool. So I'll just let them, be inauthentic and not be professional, because that's better, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna stop people from getting scammed. Most of, you know what's funny? Most of the people that I work with, it's so funny. We'll have conversations. We should work together. This is what this looks like. And they're like, well, I don't know. And then they go with somebody else. And within a 2-month, 3-month period, they're like, okay, I'm going to work with you because I just got screwed over. I'm like, I told you.
Mm-hmm.
So either my positioning's wrong or I just am not good at scamming people.
Well,
I work with a lot of people. Like I have 7 people that I'm working with right now. And like at least 4 or 5 of those people have been scammed by somebody else prior to working with me. And I got 2 people, 3 people that have worked with the same person. So yeah, it's been absolutely crazy. I have to go in and fix whatever that other person told them to do. I have to go fix it. So
isn't it human nature to try to think that the easier, softer way is the quickest and most effective?
Oh, 100%.
And then
100%.
you only learn that it's not by being faced with evidence to the contrary. Like this ended up costing you more, not just in money, but in peace of mind, in time, in all of those other things that are more precious than money.
Absolutely.
That we don't even see as part of the bargain when we're going in.
Yep. 100% true.
Yeah. Gotcha. Tell me a little bit about LYB Clothing. What is that?
Oh, it's my new baby.
Ah.
So LYB Clothing Inc. LYB stands for Live Your Brand. Every time that I'm out and about, people are, they got sports jerseys on, they got the hats, they're representing their teams, they're representing, Nike, Reebok, Abercrombie, just brands that, because for whatever reason it's expensive, for whatever reason it is the new hotness. Like you have to have an Armani suit, or you have to, it's kind of like a car, like, oh, you're nobody unless you have a BMW, or people have put faith into these brands.
Mm-hmm.
People have put faith into the societal value that people place on Lamborghinis, Ferraris, BMWs, Abercrombie and Fitch, stuff like that, right? So what happens is I want to put out a label or a clothing line that says that you don't need to put value in what other people think about you. You need to put value in what you think about you.
Okay.
So instead of living Nike's values, instead of living the BMW's values, instead of living the clothing line, whatever's values, you live your own values. So LYB Clothing Inc. is an affirmation and empowerment clothing line. And there's shirts that, for example, we have a truth serum line. And the truth serum, one of them says, for example, the truth always wins. Mm-hmm. And I had a story about that. So I made the shirt, and then a lady sent me in a testimonial. I kind of wasn't a testimonial, but she suspected that her husband was cheating, and kept lying. She's like, I know it. So she bought the shirt after she kind of had some confirmation, but she bought the shirt and then walked in on them and threw the shirt at that person, threw the shirt at him and says, I knew it. And she bought the shirt that says the truth always wins.
That's brilliant. Oh, God, I love that.
And then right after that, I came out with a shirt that says, I saw that. Karma.
That's brilliant. I like that a lot. See, I thought that you were going to come at, saying basically that you do customized shirts for other people's brands, but I like your idea that much better. That's brilliant.
Well, we do.
What other? Oh,
we can.
Okay.
We can. Yep, we can. So we can. So for example, we do like podcast shirts. Take your graphic and put it on a T-shirt. We definitely do that. Mm-hmm. And we also put your core values, like your company's core values, or logos or whatever. We design those, and then we have like a shop for that too. So we have the affirmations, and we have the truth serum.
I like it. I like it a lot. Well, Good luck with both of those ventures. I think that you'll do very, very well.
Oh, it's going to be amazing
with that.
We've had a great response. I have a shirt that says, I don't make excuses, I make results.
Mm-hmm.
And I wore it through an airport. And people are like, oh my God, I love that shirt. And I just hand a business card, like, buy here.
Nice.
So,
Very cool. All right, so tell me, actually, kind of why I wanted to bring you on is because that you are an expert among experts at being able to launch and monetize podcasts. I know there are a lot of people that are coming into the online space right now that are kind of looking at what can I do to, to stay afloat during this Darwin moment where if you don't adapt, you're gonna go floating downriver, basically. So what is it that you can recommend to our watchers and listeners today as like the first few steps to get handled for a good foundation for a successful podcast?
well, you have to set out the goal first. Most people don't set out a goal to create a podcast to make money. And I say that if you want to monetize at any moment, then you got to do it first. So for example, if I'm going to launch a podcast, I want to know what I'll be doing in a year. What's my 1-year plan? Where do I see it going in a year? From day one, you need to be operating like it's year 2. So evolve all the time, but you have to set up the show in order to make it to that 1 year, because most of the podcasts fade out. So everybody thinks that, well, there's 700,000, 800,000 podcasts. Like, oh man, it's a saturated market. And oh my God, it's really not. Mm-hmm. Yes, there are 700,000 to 800,000 podcasts. Yes. However, half of those are active. The other half have pod faded out. And usually by episode 10, they're pod faded. They're not uploading episodes. They've given up. They know it's hard. They're not making money. It wasn't what they thought it was, and they quit.
Right.
So I don't care if there's 1 million podcasts. Literally only half are actually active.
And I think that's a high estimate.
More than likely.
Yeah.
More than likely. So you have to set up the show and the foundations for the show like you've been podcasting for years. If you want to monetize your show, how are you going to get sponsors? There's a couple ways that you can monetize your show. One of them is sponsors. Mm-hmm. But you have to set it up because I talk a lot about positioning. Positioning is everything. Positioning is the way that the marketplace receives you and perceives the value that you deliver. Mm-hmm. If they don't think that you're going to deliver any value, then you're not going to be positioned in their mind. If you're tagged in a Facebook post because somebody goes, hey, I want to know about podcasts, who's the guy? And you keep getting tagged like I keep getting tagged, then you're positioned. If someone says, I can't figure out what events to speak at, like how do I find events? Again, I'm tagged in every single one of them types of posts. Mm-hmm. If I wasn't, then I wouldn't be positioned. But if you're tagged in a lot of Facebook and social media posts as someone who is recommended, then you have been positioned.
Gotcha.
The worst thing you could do is be positioned in a way that doesn't represent your brand, doesn't represent your values, and doesn't represent what you're trying to convey. It's very, very hard to rebrand yourself after the marketplace has already positioned you. So either you position you or the marketplace will position you.
That's a good point. Excellent point.
You have to market, you have to position yourself in the marketplace, because once they position you, you're done. Especially if they position you the wrong way.
And then you're pigeonholed.
So my advice,
never get out.
Right. Yep. 100%. My advice is always, when you're creating a show, what is your offer? It starts with the offer. What are you offering? Why should people listen to your show? What are you offering? Mm-hmm. I always tell people that you should have the offer in your title. Like, master your business marketing would be a podcast for marketing. Something like, I don't know, cook your way to the top, would be like a cooking podcast. Mm-hmm. If I was gonna have a show about parenting, it would be, parent your child in today's economy. Yeah, like these are all offers. But what you see instead are shows like, I don't know, the Growth Podcast. Okay. Or you see shows like the uh, the Food Lovers Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Like that tells me that that's an entertainment show with no value. It's
Okay,
just
well,
an entertainment show.
I'm gonna put my show on the chopping block and ask for your critique. What do you think when you see Corona Spotlight?
I think that you're capitalizing on the pandemic, but it's still kind of vague. Like what are we spotlighting?
Mm-hmm.
So you could say something like, let me just add a word or two. Corona Spotlight could be the Corona Business Spotlight, or the Corona Effect Spotlight. Because what I've thought about was coining the phrase the Corona Effect.
Okay.
I mean, nobody's doing that. I think that there should be a podcast called the Corona Effect or the COVID-19 Effect or something like that.
Yeah.
Because what is the effect of the pandemic that has happened? What's the effect? So if you have a show like, you ever heard of the phrase the Mandela Effect?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you would call it the Corona Effect, the Corona Effect Spotlight. So something that conveys in the title, like, I really want to listen to this, and I don't have to dig deeper to figure out what it's about. Right. The easier you can give the person to subscribe to your show, the better, and give them an offer.
Awesome. Very good. Very good. All right, great. Now, I know that there's a couple of things that you're giving away here that are amazing. First of all, we do have on our ticket that everybody can go to Blog Talk Radio, subscribe to Life Transformation Radio, your show.
Yep.
Rate it, review it, all of that. But there's something very, very special that you've agreed to give away to the people who are watching us today. And I for one, I'm going to go grab that right now myself. That is amazing. It just so generous. So for all of you listening today, Sean is giving away his no BS, no fluff guide to getting booked to speak. Now this is almost $1,000 value. And I have heard through the chatter among other people that I do entrepreneurial type stuff with, that this shit really works. So go get it. So tell us.
This is probably one of the greatest. This is literally probably the greatest strategy guide in any speaking platform. There's a lot of talk about when is it okay for a coach to coach other coaches? When is it okay for a speaker to coach other speakers? So as a TEDx speaker and somebody who is booked consistently throughout the year for paid gigs, I'm not a pay-to-play speaker, which means that I pay $2,500 to speak on stage with a chance to offer something or sell something in the back of the room. Or, I've been to an event where I paid $3,000 and I made 80 grand. I sold my programs, products, and services in the back, and to a tune of 80,000. I've also spent $2,500 on a stage and got $0. Mm-hmm. Most people, if you listen to, I listen to the words that people say, and here's what they say, and I internalize things differently. Here's what I hear people say: I love to get booked to speak. I love to get paid to speak, and I can serve so many people, and it's amazing, right? Mm-hmm. So these are these paid speakers. If you listen to what the pay to play speakers say, oh, I can make more money. I've never heard anything about serving. If you hear about, why do you want to pay to play? Oh, because I can make more money. So I can make more money if I pay to play and I can sell from stage. I can make more money. Okay, but why would you want to serve more people? Any way I can serve more people, I'm going to do that, because in the 16 years I've been an entrepreneur, I built my first business in 2004 to a tune of 650 grand. If you serve people, you're going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, you have to serve people. It's not about the money. It's not about you and the stuff that you're going to flaunt on Facebook and tell people how great your life is. Who are you serving? This ebook is the best way that I knew how to serve. And my friend Nate Palmer has a testimonial that he bought it last year, midway through the year. And just reading that guide got him 12 more bookings.
Wow.
12 more paid engagements.
Nice.
So this thing works. It'll show you what to do for TEDx. It'll show you what to do to podcasts, get booked on podcasts, virtual summits, live events once they start showing up. This is literally how you position yourself. If you want to speak on stage, if you want to be a guest on podcast, if you want to have a TEDx talk, this guide will show you how. Yeah. And we have mutual friends that have said that this is by far, hands down, the most value-packed guide that they've ever seen. This guide was meant to blow out every other ridiculous program that doesn't teach you anything on the market. You ever been on a webinar where they're like, my life was bad, it was horrible, and now my life is awesome, and then they try to offer you something at the end, but there's no value in between? Mm-hmm. This book, literally the 15-page strategy guide this book has been the reason I've been so successful. Every single moment of my business has been put into this guide.
Nice.
I've downloaded all of my knowledge into this guide.
Awesome. Well, for those of you who are watching and listening, what you want to do is you want to go to where? Because all you gave me was the promo code.
Got it. Oh, I thought it said, okay. So there's a bit.ly link. I swear I sent you the bit.ly link. So go to bit.ly, bit.ly /get booked to speak. And the first letter of the word is capitalized. So capital G, capital B, capital T, capital S. Get booked to speak. bit.ly /get booked to speak. And today I'm going to offer it for free. Go to the promo code, all caps, free, the number 4, and me. Free for me. And then, of course, you'll be put on my email list where I will incessantly send you 50,000 emails a day. No, I won't do that because that's just stupid.
Right.
But I will deliver value inside my email list. I do monetize my email list. You will get offered some things, but I do offer a tremendous amount of value. Most of the emails that I get, because I want to see what people's email sequences look like. One email is like, oh, you're awesome, I love you, and welcome to my list. The second email is something like, hey, if you want to know some things, I got a free resource for you, and this, that, and the other. Then the third email is always like, buy my stuff.
Yeah.
There's no value. Like, people are so afraid to give away their value. I give away everything for free. Do you know why I give everything away for free? Because most of the people that want stuff for free are not even going to take action on it. So I'm not even worried about competition.
Yeah.
Because most people won't even take action on it. Most people will download the guide, look at it one time, and then go about the normal things that they usually do rather than implementing something new to get a new result. And which is definition of insanity, is doing the same thing over and over again, getting frustrated because you don't have a different outcome.
Right.
If you want a different outcome, if you're not happy where you are, if you're not happy in your business, then change. Do something different. This is different. This is the greatest strategy guide for speakers on the market right now. And I'm giving it to you for free.
That is awesome. All right. So one more time, go to bit.ly capital G-E-T, capital B-O-O-K-E-E-D, or excuse me, E-D, not two E's. And now, is the 2 capitalized as well?
Yeah, no. So it's bit.ly /get booked to speak. Mm-hmm. And it's capital G, capital B, capital T, capital S. Just make sure that the first letter of the words are capitalized. Otherwise, it'll take you someplace way crazy that you don't want to be.
Yeah, Bit.lys are funky like that with capitalization.
Right.
It's got to be exactly right. And then use the promo code FREE4ME. This will save you $997, that promo code. Do that now. Awesome. Now, we have Well, we've gone a little bit over today, but I still want to give you my final question. What
Yeah.
words of wisdom would you like to leave everyone with today?
My message is always the same. You have the power to move on from where you are. You have the ability to say, this is not how my story ends. You alone hold the key to writing your success story. So today is the day that you say enough is enough and you write your success story, either metaphorically or literally. Write your success story. If you're not where you are, if you're not where you want to be, if you're not where you are satisfied at, then you need to change and do something different. If it's not working for you, fix it. You have the ability to turn the page and write a new chapter. So today is the day that you do that. Write your new chapter.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today, Sean. Take care.
Absolutely.
And thanks again.
Thank you.
All right, Facebook, have a wonderful day.
When
And,
you open
we'll
yourself
see you
up
soon.
to actual energy work, makes that recovery progress so much faster. That recovery is possible. You do not have to live as a victim until your last days. You have unbelievable strength, and I know that because you're still here. Do you want to create something completely unrecognizable with your life? I can show you how.